Thank you so much for coming to Make the Web today. Why do you think events like this that turn sort of consumers of information into makers are so important?
Well, I think that's what we have to do. I mean, first of all, we have to engage young people in the future, and the future is all about technology, new emerging technologies, things we haven't even thought of yet. In fact, just during the week, I was talking about the kinds of terms that are being used now about occupations that people will have into the future. Most of them we haven't even heard of yet. So it's very important that they engage, that they get involved. And an occasion like this, I think, is important to create this get-together between the young people that are starting off and thinking about all of this, those of them that have gone one step further, and indeed those of them that have gone on to ensure that what they've thought about they actually have created and they now want to put it on the market. And that, in a European context, if I can talk about it as the European Commissioner, is what we're trying to do with our research programmes and funding. We're funding the research, but we want to make sure that that research goes all the way to the marketplace, so that we have this, as we call it, this innovation chain, that there are no broken links along the chain, but that in fact the whole thing goes all the way from the laboratory, if you want to call it that, all the way to the marketplace.
And Telefonica recently did a millennial survey, and 83% of people in Europe said that technology had helped them actually gain employment. For an organisation like Telefonica working with the EU Commission, do you think that that's a powerful partnership that for companies like us that are in a digital world to get together and offer young people things like this?
I think it's incredibly important that companies and industry come to the table with us and get involved. We have competitive calls, we have very large companies like Telefonica, we have small and medium-sized enterprises, we have researchers, we have universities, all of them working together. That's the only way that we can face into this crisis that we're going through and come out the other side. And Telefonica are involved in something like almost 100 projects with us now. We want that to increase. But one of the things that we've said in the new programme is this is about bringing industry back into the programme, bringing industry to the table. Industry can create the jobs, but it can also give a huge boost to those that are wondering where we should go, how we should go. And industry getting involved, I think, also in supporting education, allowing young people to see what this is all about. Because sometimes if you're talking to somebody who's maybe, as you call it here, a Glastonbury geek, or Glastonbury for geeks, people will say, oh gosh, what is all this about coding? It's too complicated for me. So something like the Campus Party, supported by Telefonica strongly, shows them that this is not something to be afraid of, and this is the future. If you want a future, you've got to get involved in this area.
For a few years we've had Silicon Valley obviously as the place that people go, and then Southeast Asia and a lot of other places. But do you think that Europe has something very unique to offer in terms of retaining young people here as opposed to them getting a digital idea and then going over to Silicon Valley?
Well, I think, for a long time they were actually almost forced to do that because we had such a complicated system in Europe. We have 28 member states now. You had a different system in every single one of those member states. It's only really in recent years that we've sort of said, no, we need to make the whole atmosphere much better, simpler, easier to access, all of that, about getting more and more people involved, but also making it easier for them to become involved. And I think if you do that, if you push aside the kind of over-regulation that we have, get rid of red tape, which we've now done in the new research programme Horizon 2020, you'll see instantly that people want to be part of this, they want to understand it, and they see opportunities for themselves. And I think it's very important to encourage that, and that's my job.
And Rona, just quickly, what does it feel like to have the Commissioner here, obviously today, representing the EU, being in an event like this?
I think it's brilliant. I think if you look at the energy and the innovation you see at Campus Party, we need to make sure that all of that energy and innovation is applied to make sure that we have a more successful and entrepreneurial Europe. The work that the Commission is doing and Commissioner Gagan Quinn is leading around research and innovation makes sure that all of those young people will have the environment in which their ideas can be brought to life, and right across Europe we can create a much better prospect for employment for people at a time when we have a a huge number of young people unemployed who have digital skills and who are learning more digital skills. But if we can bring them into the work environment, harness the research that's been done in Europe, then we can be a European powerhouse again, and that's got to be a win-win.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was absolutely fantastic. Great
Pleasure.